My name is Sophie Brunquell, and for my Bright Spot presentation, I researched Stow-Munroe Falls School District and how they are addressing racial diversity. So, a little about this district. They're a public school district in Stow, Ohio. The district is made up of 9 schools serving grades K through 12 and just over 5,000 students. And there's only one high school in the district, which was opened in 1987. Now, the primary goal for this district was provided by the Stow-Munroe Falls City School District website, and it is to provide a 21st century education, empowering each learner to be a self-motivated, successful citizen in a global society. As I mentioned earlier, the type of diversity addressed in this case is racial diversity. Bailey Rayners explains that race is biologically determined in paragraph 37 of her article, Types of Diversity in the Workplace You Need to Know. Rayner goes on in paragraph 37 to explain that examples of race include white, black or African American, Indian or Alaskan Native, Asian, Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander. In the article, Stow-Munroe Falls Making Strides Towards Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Krista Kano explains that after the death of George Floyd in 2020, students and alumni alike wrote to the Board of Education and demanded a statement affirming that Black lives matter. The district realized that they were not doing a very good job of having open and honest discussions with students or community members, partly because 91% of Stow, Ohio identifies as white. So, after coming to this realization, the district began to create change. They created a Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee run by Aisha Collier, who was not only a curriculum director for the district, but the district's only Black employee at the time. The mission statement for this committee can be found on the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Department page of the district website, and it is to embrace diversity while providing a sustained commitment to equity and inclusion. Other key individuals include the co-chair of this committee, Tracy Kosmak, who worked alongside Ms. Collier in board meetings, as well as Superintendent Tom Bratton and the mayor of the city of Stow, John Probenik, and they both stood behind the actions of this committee through the entire process. Some additional steps that were implemented through this process include adding staff personal development days that focus on diversity, beginning to address implicit bias in the classroom, which is incredibly important, as Meredith Hawley explains in paragraph 8 of the article, 12 Diversity Statistics That Will Make You Rethink Your Hiring Decisions, that approaching the issue with honesty will show self-reflection. The district also worked to hire more people of color and adopt a new inclusive curriculum for all grades, which taught students more about the history behind racial diversity while still following state requirements. This is not to say that the district did not face any challenges through this process. Racism has been present in the school district for quite some time, brought on by both the staff and the students. Krista Kano explains in paragraph 17 of her article, Does Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Work Belong in Schools? Stow-Munroe Falls Community Divided, that some reference George Garrison, a 14-year-old student who died by suicide in 2003 after being bullied for being Black. Stereotypes that come with racism are often very hard to get rid of, as Robbins mentions on page 99 of his book, What If? Stereotypes that exist in our heads do not necessarily arise from formal study or any type of intense conscious learning effort. Stereotypes are learned by the things we are exposed to in our everyday lives. Kano additionally mentions in the article previously cited that the national debate over whether schools should teach kids about racism, equality, and other social justice issues is dividing the Stow-Munroe Falls community. This was apparent at school board meetings where 1/3 of the community members attending shared that they do not believe that open discussions about race belong in the classroom. Kano cites a quote from board member Lisa Johnson Bowers, who has said that the DEI committee can't make progress if someone is critiquing every single step. The outcomes of these changes have been well worth the challenges faced by the school district. According to Kano, both students and adults are educating themselves more deeply than before on racial diversity. She also mentions that students are feeling safer, more respected, and accepted, citing one student who said that these changes made her feel like she could have a voice In their article, Strategies for Building an Inclusive Workplace, Castillo explains that the single most obvious reason to push for diversity is that promoting diversity means promoting understanding, which is very apparent in these outcomes. Lastly, the Bulldogs Taking Action, a committee of 21 staff members and 17 students that celebrates diversity, has been implemented at multiple schools in the district, including some of the middle schools and the high school. Thank you so much for watching this presentation. These last few slides include my references in APA format. Have a great day. Thank you.